Hello and welcome to Terraria. Despite the fact that I have over 250 hours played in this game, I've never actually beaten it anymore. But I'm on a mission to fix that. So, without further ado, let us begin. I started out by chopping down some trees and then leveling a small area to make my starter house. After that, I decided to go exploring, so I made my way to the right of the map. There I found the desert, but I ran into the Crimson pretty quickly, so I decided to head back and go to the left. I found a few large trees and got the loot from them, and then made my way to the snow biome. I decided to head down into one of the caves, and on my way, I was attacked by a dart trap, so I picked up the pressure plate and carried on my way. There was, however, one small problem. This dart trap had 2 pressure plates. After having already died so quickly, I decided to make some armor and then went mining to get a few more resources. Once I was done mining, I added a few more rooms to the house and then continued exploring. I continued to the right of the map and eventually made my way to the dungeon. I made my way down to see if I could find the water bolt, but it ended in disaster. I continued expanding my house and then went mining again. I found a minecart along the way and was getting plenty of iron, platinum. I found a couple of life crystals on the way, which was very helpful. Eventually, I made my way down into the underworld, but I couldn't really do much, so I returned back to the surface and started sorting out my stuff. Then I made my way to the Crimson and broke a few Crimson hearts to get the Undertaker. I spent the next few minutes painstakingly trying to get the next heart, only to get the Undertaker a second time. I returned home, then I began making a storage area. I dug out a small area. After a lot of fiddling, I eventually settled on this setup, so I renamed them all and sorted all my stuff. After that, I made my way to the jungle, and after almost getting mauled to death by the locals, I made my way down into one of the caves. I found a couple heart crystals, as well as a hive, which would be useful for later. Then I spotted a couple chests and dug my way up to them. Opening the ivory one was totally fine. However, the one next to it was a trap chest, so I used a pressure plate to know where the traps were. I then disarmed the explosives and opened the chest.
Now that's a lot of damage!
As you can see in this picture, there's clearly 2 explosives, and I still have no idea how I didn't see that before. Regardless, I carried on and decided to go mining again. This time I used a spelunker potion and found a whole lot more resources. I was trying to collect enough platinum to make a full set of platinum armor, and I made good progress. I then returned home and sorted everything I'd found into my storage system and went back to mining. The mining became more difficult as I kept running into spider nests. On top of that, there seemed to be less and less platinum. Eventually, I got overwhelmed and was killed by spiders. After that, I decided to build an arena, so I leveled out a small area beside my house and began working. But right before I was about to begin, a goblin army approached. So I quickly shut off my doors and began building the platform as quickly as I could. I was able to finish one row of the platform and then began to take out the goblin army. Going was pretty slow as I had no piercing ranged weapons, but I was able to use my flaming mace, and after only a few deaths and what seemed like a really long time, I eventually defeated it. I cleared up the last remaining goblins and finished up my arena. Then I added a few more rooms onto the house. Then I made some last minute preparations and began the Eye of Cthulhu fight. I didn't really know what to expect with this fight, as most of the time I play Master Mode and Expert Mode where it's really hard. However, as I was in Classic Mode, it wasn't too difficult at all. In fact, it was so easy that I decided to do it again the same night. That's all I have for this episode, so thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed, please consider liking and subscribing, and I will see you next time.